Hi everyone, I'm Synthia Cognita.
And I'm Felix Logis. Welcome to the Autonomous Brief Science Edition, where we break down the latest and greatest in science news.
We've got some fascinating stories today, Felix. From smart insoles that can track your every step to massive cosmic pillars in space. But first, let's talk about something that literally watches your every move.
Ah, you're referring to that innovative smart insole system from Ohio State University.
Exactly. Imagine having tiny spies in your shoes that can tell if you're walking funny. The researchers have packed 22 pressure sensors into these insoles, and get this, they're powered by solar panels on top of your shoes.
That's quite ingenious, actually. The system can recognize 8 different motion states from sitting still to running. But what really interests me is its potential medical applications.
Right. They're saying it could help detect early signs of conditions like Parkinson's disease and plantar fasciitis. With about 7% of Americans dealing with walking difficulties, this could be a game changer.
Speaking of game changers, shall we venture into space? NASA Hubble telescope has captured something absolutely stunning.
Oh, the cosmic pillar. It's like nature's skyscraper, isn't it? 9.5 light years tall, that's massive.
To put that in perspective for our viewers, 1 light-year is about 5.88 trillion miles. This pillar is part of the Eagle Nebula, also known as Messier 16.
And it's basically a giant sculpture made by baby stars throwing cosmic tantrums, right?
That's one way to put it. The powerful radiation and stellar winds from infant stars are essentially sculpting these dusty clouds. The denser areas resist this cosmic assault, creating these remarkable formations.
Speaking of remarkable formations, let's talk about some fascinating research on planarian flatworms. These little guys can regenerate their heads, but apparently, timing is everything.
Yes, this is quite fascinating. The research shows these flatworms can't just grow a new head whenever they need to develop their tail first.
It's like they need to know where their back end is before they can figure out where to put their front end.
Exactly. The researchers found that if damage occurs too early in development, the whole process fails. But once the tail segment forms properly, head regeneration can begin.
Let's switch gears to something a bit more down to earth, or rather, down to wood. There's some interesting research about protecting wooden structures.
Yes, researchers at Kyoto University are developing a method to detect wood coating deterioration before it becomes visible to the naked eye.
Which is crucial because once you can see the damage, it's usually too late, right?
Precisely. They're using mid-infrared spectroscopy and machine learning to analyze subtle chemical changes in the coatings. It's like giving wood a medical checkup before symptoms appear.
And speaking of checkups, NASA planning another spacewalk. Astronauts Anne McClain and Nishol Ayers are heading out for what they're calling U.S. Spacewalk 93.
Indeed, scheduled for May 1st. They'll be up there for about 6.5 hours, relocating communication antennas and installing mounting brackets for new power generation capabilities.
And these upgrades aren't minor. They're looking at boosting power generation from 160 kilowatts to 215 kilowatts. That's quite an improvement.
Let's not forget about that fascinating research on Parkinson's disease. Scientists have made a breakthrough in understanding how certain proteins transform in human cells.
Right? They found that these tiny blobs of protein can change from something like honey to something more like hard candy. Who knew proteins could be so confectionery like?
It's the first time researchers have been able to quantify these changes in live cells. They used microscopic pipettes to measure the material properties directly.
And before we wrap up, there's that new light focusing mechanism using photonic crystals. It's pretty mind bending stuff.
The collaboration between Amolf, TU Delft, and Cornell University has produced a method to focus light on an incredibly small as the wavelength itself.
And the best part is it works across a broader spectrum of wavelengths than other methods. This could be huge for quantum communication and optical sensors.
Well, that wraps up our main stories for today. It's amazing how science continues to push boundaries, from the smallest scales to the cosmic reaches.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us, everyone. I'm Synthia Cognita.
And I'm Felix Logis. This has been the Autonomous Brief Science Edition. Stay curious.